Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. Well, this is day 17 of my fast. Jiminy Christmas. Anyway, I am down to 199 pounds, below 200 pounds for the first time in about 250 billion years. I've discovered, as a lot of people have pestered me and warned me about, that when you're fasting, you just take water, your electrolyte solution or whatever, and that's it. And I gotta say they're right, because it's been like very difficult and dragging and debilitating to fast while I'm taking all those supplements that are designed to fight cancer, right? Well, anyway, hope the wind noise isn't too bad. Anyway, so I've basically just been, last couple days I have just been fasting completely, no supplements, and it is so much easier. I'm not constantly hungry. And I've got my energy's coming back, and I'm feeling so much better. I was having a lot of knee problems, and the arthritis in my knees was really acting up. And I think it's partly because the medications I was taking were basically irritating and causing inflammation in my arthritis. And I've got a lot of it in my knees. So I'm basically just, my knees and my legs are finally back. Man, it is so nice to be able to walk around without pain. In case you're interested in this hat, there's an ant on there. And it's sort of, it came from a website called the Survival Podcast, and it's basic intelligent common sense preparedness, and back in the 2008 recession, I was like freaking out because I was listening to Alex Jones, and he had me thinking that there was going to be a nuclear war anytime. And eventually the stress got to me so much I had to stop listening to him, and then I found the Survival Podcast, and man, made so much more sense. Anyway, the ant and the grasshopper parable is where the ant is like slowly and methodically preparing and saving for his future, and then whereas the grasshopper is just saying, "Hey, you ant, you have no, you're just a stick in the mud. You have no sense of fun. You should, there's food everywhere." And he was just fiddling in the forest. I mean, in the plain, or in the meadow, and eating all he wanted. And then eventually it got worse, and the cold weather started coming, and he was saying, "Well, it's still okay," and he was still laughing at the ant as they were. As he was like constantly grabbing grass seeds and putting them underground. And then the end of the story is when the grasshopper was freezing in the cold and said, would you let me in? I didn't save any Bitcoins. And now I'm cold and I'm starving and I need help, right? And the story ends with the ant saying, "No, fuck you," and go, and then basically go away and die. And like the health tips guy always says. Anyway, and he basically said, "Go away and die." But in reality, the ant would come out and cut the grasshopper up into little pieces and take it down into its nest. So basically, the ant and the grasshopper, a very good parable for MGTOW and anybody else, really. Save your money, save your assets, and do it in a very frugal and common sense way. And eventually, you should get to the point where, after a decade or so of doing that, you will have enough accumulated wealth not to have to work anymore. So that was the strategy I followed, and it worked, except for this friggin' cancer. Worked like a friggin' charm. In fact, I wouldn't have pulled the plug on my mechanic job as fast as I did if it weren't for the fact that I got cancer, because honestly, it kind of lit a fire under me, and I had to realize I had enough, and socking away more and waiting for like $19,000 Bitcoins again was just, maybe I was just getting greedy, maybe I was just being paranoid, but there has got to come a time when you do the math and do the math and do the math, and when it pencils out and pencils out and pencils out enough times, you gotta eventually pull the plug and say, okay, that's enough. There are so many guys who work because of the sheer paranoia. They work and work and work until they friggin' die, and then a bunch of people who didn't work to earn the money end up profiting from his labor. And maybe if they're kind about it, they raise a glass of ale and toast to their memory of Mr. Hardcore Working Guy. But probably not. They probably just laugh and spend it and fritter it all away within a year or two. It has, in fact, most lottery winners that did not earn the money, most lottery winners end up destitute within a few years. And some of them actually come back to their old jobs and start saying, "Hey, Mr. Henderson, can I have my job back?" So there you go. Now that I got a little bit of my mojo back, I mean, I don't have a lot. If I am too busy if I do some things and I get a little bit too vigorous, it feels like I'm about to pass out, and then I have to go sit down and kick back for a while. But 17 days into a fast, there's no way I'm going to be running around here like like I'm completely normal. Not going to happen. So, but hey, right now I am almost certainly in a state of autophagia or autophagy, where the body is breaking down useless material within the cells and breaking that material down and then recycling it for energy. And there's like weird things in your brain that, like this plaque and all kinds of weird goo that can get in the way of your thinking. And right now those materials are being broken down and fed into the furnace to fuel the organism, which is me. And right now, useless material in the rest of my body is being broken down, like the folds of fat, the excess skin, possibly even scar tissue, and cancer. All of that stuff is on the menu, and it's all being broken down and eaten right now. Now if I push this 21-day fast out to Friday, which is when I should be able to end it, I should get some really good autophagy going, and for this next week, and then I have a chance of making good progress against this cancer. I find that very exciting, and it really appeals to the cheap ass bastard in me. The kind of guy who just, I have the same shitty old car that I've had for like 10, 15 years, and I tore the whole thing apart and replaced the water pump, replaced the timing belt, replaced the the little O-ring in the back of the water pump that started leaking, and basically I just replace everything, and I keep that thing going because I don't want to spend any money that I don't have to on things that are unnecessary. And if I can save $50,000-$60,000 in chemotherapy bullshit and shrink my tumors for free, dudes, that is just so me. I mean, that's just something that appeals to me a lot. So in any case, that's what I'm planning to do. And man, I've had a few people who are obviously connected to the conventional medical system. They've been trolling the living shit out of me, saying, "You're gonna die, you're gonna die, oh my God, you're gonna die. Oh, what are you gonna do? You're gonna shoot yourself, ha ha, you dumb shit," right? And I've had to block a couple of people because of that. And that's the reason I don't put all this, I don't put cancer in the tags, I don't put anything like cancer in the title. The only thing I admit to is that I am fasting, and but I don't put anything in the tags. In fact, all of my tags are just fucking empty, right? Generally, you put in the video tags like whatever subject appeals to or applies to the video, but so that it can come up on searches easily. But these videos here that I'm making, these are not for everybody. These are just for my MGTOW brothers. They are not for health people who run around looking about like organic whatever and fasting and spirituality and whatnot. This is nuts and bolts practical how to. I mean, this is research that I am doing, and I'm the guinea pig. And the only people I really care enough about to circulate this information to are my brothers. And that's it, man. This shit is not for the random hippie or the total clueless blue pill sheeple who does everything that society tells them to do and is in their cliques and paying all their taxes, and basically they're just living like a cog, you know. These videos are not for them. Not until they take the red pill and wake up. Because, yeah, this is only for my brothers. So in any case, that's what I'm up to. Today, I mean, very slowly, I don't have a lot of energy, but very slowly I'm doing a few things around the house and finished my car up. Not that I don't even trust myself to drive. I mean, even talking to you guys a couple of times just now, I felt that sense of lightheadedness. And if I get something like that at the very wrong second while I'm driving, it could cause an accident. And I'm not up for that. So I'm just confined to my house, and I'm ordering a bunch of things off Amazon. Like I ordered a new pair of jeans for size 36 because these 38s are now so loose that they would fall down if it wasn't for my belt. So I'm going to see if I can fit into size 36. This Bitcoin shirt I ordered off of Open Bazaar was friggin' tight on me before, and now it is very comfortable to wear. It's a large, whereas generally I'm an extra large. So basically today what I'm doing, I mean, yesterday I had just enough energy to hook this trailer, which belongs to my dad, hooked it up to the truck and backed it into the garage. And basically my project is to cut these boards so that they basically I use the router, which I have set up here, to basically cut a big angle out of these boards so that they fit in these little pockets. Come on, get out of there. Okay, well, you can take my word for it. Anyway, they fit in these little pockets, and I'll go all the way around. I'm going to trim this so it comes out easily, right? And then, of course, I'm also replacing these shitty old sun-destroyed tail lights with some nice, cheap, very inexpensive LED tail lights. Then I'm going to use this trailer as well as the black trailer that we have outside. We're going to hook the black trailer up to the van, and we're going to hook the trailer that I'm building, practically building, going to hook that up to the truck after I build the sidewalls. And then basically we're going to use that to move my dad to the state that he's decided to move to. And then I will be completely open to whatever I want to do. And man, during this project, it certainly has been nice because I can utilize the tools which are generally at work, and I can use them here. And man, I've used a couple of 2 or 3 tools from work. Very handy. Anyway, I'm going to take all these totes and put them in Dad's house, or his new place, and then I could start dismantling the shit out of this house, get rid of everything, and then turn my fellow mechanics loose in here to grab whatever the hell they want. And then I'm basically going to get the heck out of here. I'm going to set up a remailing address so that I'll be able to keep my Washington State identity or residency, and then I'll be able to when the time comes to pay, cash in Bitcoins wherever I am in the world, I will not have to pay state income tax on that. But if I move to the state where my dad is moving to, I would have to pay state income tax, and even if I was in Bolivia cashing in Bitcoins, I would have to pay state income tax, or I would be guilty of tax evasion, which I don't want to be. So basically, yeah, that's the plan. So that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the day. Feeling pretty energetic for a guy who hasn't eaten but one meal in 17 days. I cheated on day 5 of my fast. I was taking a really nice trip to Mount Rainier, and I was in really bad shape, and I basically was walking around on a cane, and then I took a step a little bit wrong and fell on my face and staggered to my feet, and then my vision had all those stars across them, and I was about to pass out. So I figured in order to enjoy the trip, I would have to eat something. So I had a very low carb meal of steamed broccoli and a cheeseburger that had no bun and a salad. And that was my cheat meal. So basically I have 17 minus 1 for my cheat meals, but it added up in fractions because sometimes I would eat a lot of celery and whatnot for all those supplements. So it worked out basically to 17 minus 2 meals. So if I don't break my fast until dinner time Saturday, that will work out to a full 21-day fast. So that's what I'm up to here at the Vention House. And I'm feeling pretty good considering I haven't eaten anything in so long. Drinking a bunch of electrolyte solution. But man, let me tell you, brothers, they are lying to us when they say, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Oh yeah, you've got to eat 3 meals a day and some snacks too. And otherwise you will lose your blood sugar and you will not be worth a shit, right? And they sell us on this idea that we have to eat all these carbs and like the buns and the bread and the potatoes and the rice and they and the sodas. They sell us all of that stuff that is just normal ways of eating, and it is not. We do not have to do what they tell us to do. We absolutely don't have to, because I'm living proof. If I'm walking around here doing useful shit on day 17 of a fast, clearly they're bullshitting us. We do not have to eat all that crap, and we will be vastly healthier if we give them a gigantic middle finger when they start telling us, food pyramid, you have to eat starches and carbs and da 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 da. Yeah, I'm not buying it anymore. That is another red pill. There are many red pills in the world, and that is one of them. So I've ranted long enough, guys. I'm going to let you go so I can get busy on this thing. And don't get married.